أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. We are reading through the topic concerning the dunya, the world. From the dini aspect, we have three enemies. One is Shaytaan, secondly our Nafs, and thirdly the world, the Dunya. The world is spoken in three meanings. World, Dunya, the life before death is called Dunya. Secondly, wealth, house, business, car. So this is also called Dunya. And thirdly, any matter, anything which distracts a person from deen, which makes him indulge in a sinful act, is called dunya. So these are the three meanings of dunya: the life before death, the wealth, the worldly assets, house, money, gold, silver, business, etc. And thirdly, anything which distracts a person from deen and hereafter makes him come in sin and engross in sinful evil acts. That is the third meaning of the word. So here in detail it is explained what is the word and what Rasulullah sallallahu advised us concerning the world, how we should live in this world and how much connection we should have with the world and how much we should be alert from the world, the dunya. Once Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with Hazrat Abu Bakr, Hazrat Umar went to an Ansari's garden, back there, palm date garden. He presented dates and cold water to drink. After eating and drinking, Rasulullah said to the Sahaba, on the day of Qiyamah you will be questioned regarding the ni'mats of Allah Ta'ala. Meaning you will be questioned, how much sugar did you make of the dates you ate and the water you drank? Hazrat Umar said, Ya Rasulullah, will be questioned upon these things also? Rasulullah replied, yes. Only three things are exception, and beside the three things, everything will be questioned. आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम फरमाया, हाँ सिर्फ 3 चीज़ों के बारे में सवाल न होगा. Rasulullah, yes, you will be questioned regarding the water you drank, the dates you ate, that did you fulfill his right, did you be grateful to me or not. And except for 3 matters, everything will be questioned and we have to answer for it. एक तो वो कपड़ा जिसने पर्दे के काबिल हिस्सा बदन छुपाया, that amount of cloth which covered the necessary part of the body, और एक टुकड़ा जिसने बहद ज़रूर भूख को रफ़ा किया, that amount of food with which he satisfied his hunger, और एक फुट यानी छोटा सा बकदरे ज़रूरत मकान जिसमें गर्मी सर्दी से बचने को घुस बैठा. And thirdly, such amount of house in which he could protect himself from cold, heat and rain. So these are the 3 things the person will not be questioned, provided he acquired them in a halal way. The amount of clothes which covered his necessary body, the amount of food which satisfied his hunger, the amount of house which protected him from heat, cold and rain. Beside these 3 things, every ni'mat will be questioned. لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ. बाकी इससे ज़्यादा है उसका हिसाब किताब ज़रूर होना है. And beside these three things, whatever we have, we will have to account for it. How did you acquire in halal way or haram way? And how did you utilize it in halal or haram? और जिसने अपना सारा वक्त दुनिया की लज्जात और ख्वाहिशात के हासिल करने में खर्च कर दिया और मकसूद यानी इबादत को भूल गया, तो उस पर यह वबाल और फितना होगा. That person who spent all his time in the world, in desires of the world, and fulfilling his lust and passion of the world, and he forgot the hereafter, he forgot the deen, then his time, passing of this time will be a calamity over him in the hereafter. चुनांच इमाम तिरमिज़ी ने हज़रत काब बिन अयाज़ रज़ी अल्लाह से रिवायत की है कि मैंने रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को फरमाते हुए सुना कि हर उम्मत के लिए एक फितना है और मेरी उम्मत का फितना माल है. इमाम तिरमिज़ी नरेश from सहाबी काब बिन अयाज़ रज़ी अल्लाह ताला अन्हु that he heard Rasulullah sallallahu saying, every nation has something of a test for them. The test for my ummah is wealth. My ummah will be given wealth and they'll be tested. How do they use the wealth? How do they acquire in halal way or haram way? And after acquiring it, they use the wealth in fulfilling the rights, or they use the wealth in fulfilling their desires in evil acts, sinful acts. So our test is in our wealth. How do we acquire it, and how do we utilize, how do we use it in halal or haram? और ऐसे शख्स पर आखिरत का सफ़र बहुत मुश्किल होता है. For such a person who engaged in the world, who became engrossed in the world, and he spent all his time in acquiring the world, then for such a person, his journey to the hereafter will be very, very difficult. A young person, once we become baligh, 16, 15, 14 years of age, our account starts. So a young youth, he does not perform for a salat, he does not fast, and he goes to school, he goes to college, and he engages in wrong acts. So he's starting with the wrong step. In the same way, elderly person, so one should look, how is my time being spent? That we're traveling from the day we are born, we are traveling through the time span. Whatever age we have reached, that amount of time has passed. So one should reflect and check, how have I passed my past life? If the angel of death comes and your time is finished, I come to take you, how does the heart react? How do we react? Are we ready, prepared, and happy to go with him? Or we become reluctant, we become neglectful? Then one should take a heed, and one should correct his ways, that at the time of death he does not have regret. So nevertheless, the person who engaged in the world and neglected the deen and the hereafter, for such a person, the journey of the hereafter will be very, very difficult. चुनांचे इमाम बैहक़ी ने हज़रत उम्मे दर्दा रज़ी अल्लाह से रिवायत की है कि वो कहती है कि मैंने अपने शौहर अबू दर्दा रज़ी अल्लाह से कहा, देखो जिस तरह फलां शख्स कमाता है, तुम क्यों नहीं कमाते? Hazrat Darda radiallahu said, once I said to my husband, Hazrat Abu Darda radiallahu, one of the senior Sahabas, that why don't you earn and why don't you engage in business? Certain person are earning. You'll have more money, you'll have more comfortable life. So why don't you engage in acquiring more money, like certain person is engaged in acquiring more money and more wealth? उन्होंने जवाब दिया कि मैंने रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को फरमाते सुना है कि तुम्हारे सामने एक दुश्वार गुजार घाटी है जिसे बोझल आदमी पार न कर सकेंगे. Darda radiallahu said, I heard Rasulullah saying, in front of you is a difficult valley, and a person who's laden with the worldly responsibilities will not be able to pass it. Hazrat Abu Darda said, Rasulullah sallallahu said, in front of you is a difficult valley to pass. And those people who are laden with the worldly burden upon them, meaning sins, lust and desire and neglect from deen, they will find very, very difficult to pass that valley, meaning the valley of the hereafter. लिहाजा मैं उस घाटी के लिए हल्का रहना पसंद करता हूँ. So Darda said, I want to keep myself light for to pass that valley. Like a traveler, if he has a lot of luggage with him, it becomes a burden. It becomes difficult for him on his journey. And the traveler, the less burden he has, the less luggage he has, he's more free. He has more freedom and he passes easily. You can see here on the airport, those people are very less luggage. They don't have to wait in the custom. They pass through quickly. And those people have a lot of luggage with them, overweight. They find it difficult to get through. They have to pay extra money. They even have quarrel between the husband and wife. So these are the results of we can see in the world of overburdening oneself with worldly assets. और जो बंदा दुनिया में अपने नफ्स और अपने मकसूद पैदाइश को भूल जाता है, उसकी मिसाल ऐसी है जैसे कोई हज को जाने वाला मुसाफिर. Give you an example, the person who forgets his purpose of preparing for the hereafter and he becomes engaged and engrossed in the world, is example as that person who set off from his home to perform Hajj, to go for Hajj. रास्ते के किसी पड़ाव पर ठहरे और अपनी ऊँटनी के घास दाने और निकेदार से मशगूल हो जावे. So travellers of before, they used to travel on camel. So he's traveling on a camel. While he was traveling, he found a good place. There was a good grass, good water. So he stopped there to feed the animal, to feed the camel, and he stayed there. And the rest of his companions, they moved on. कि उसको नहलाने धुलाने और रंग बिरंग के उसके कपड़े पहनाए और किस्म किस्म की घास लाकर उसके सामने डाले. So like that traveler, he forgot his purpose. He set off to go to Hajj. He found a good place where there was good grass, good water. He stopped there. He's feeding his animal and he's giving it water and he's bathing the camel. And in doing that, he forgot why he has set off. उसके लिए बर्फ से ठंडा करके पानी लावे, and he cools the water with ice and gives to the camel. यहाँ तक के काफला उसको छोड़ जाए, and the rest of the companions they move on, but he's so much engrossed with his camel, feeding, looking after it, that he forgets and he stays behind. उसको न हज की खबर रहे न काफले के चले जाने की. He forgets the purpose why he set off, that he set off to go to Hajj, and he forgets that the rest of the companions they have set off. और अपने और अपनी ऊँटनी के जंगल में दरिंदों का शिकार बनकर तन्हा रह जाने की खबर रहे. And he does not even realize the jungle, and once he is alone, the wild animals of the jungle will come out and they will kill him. But he's so much engrossed, he forgets all these realities and loses his life, loses his camel also. So exactly this is world. That the person becomes engrossed in the world, earning the world, accumulating the world. He forgets the purpose. End of the day, he has a good house, good business, good car. But the time of death comes, he has to give everything. He's not prepared anything for the hereafter. He goes with regret and he goes with anxiety and he goes with sadness from this world. और यही वजह है कि जनाब रसूल, one should 24 hours, one should check before going to sleep, out of 24 hours, how much virtue I have done, how much sin I have committed, and how much of my time I have done to waste, and I have not done anything good, anything bad. Our time passes in one of these three conditions. The virtue we do, that is our gain, that is our profit. And the sin we commit, sin a person commits, that is making the time calamity over himself. And the time which passes not doing anything good, not doing anything bad, that is waste of time. So if a person starts to think before going to sleep, he thinks for 5 minutes, inshallah it will change his way. It will change his way of life. It will create concern in him, and slowly and gradually he will start to come on the path of deen and move away from the desires and the lust of the world. और यही वजह है यही वजह है कि जनाब रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम दुनियावी सामान से बचते थे और इबादत खुदावंदी में मुस्तग़रक़ रहते थे. This was the reason Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the most intelligent person. So intelligent person, he looks what is beneficial, what is harmful. So because of this, that world is not going to stay with us. It is not going to stay forever. So because of that, Rasulullah never engaged himself in accumulating the world. He never turned towards the world, and in this place, he turned towards Allah Ta'ala, and he kept his life of ibadat of Allah Ta'ala. चुनांच इमाम तिरमिज़ी ने हज़रत अबू उमामा रज़ी अल्लाह से रिवायत की है कि फरमाया रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने अल्लाह ताला ने मुझ पर पेश फरमाया कि मक्का की ज़मीन को मेरे लिए सोना बना दे. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah Ta'ala gave me a choice. If I wished, Allah Ta'ala would make the land of Makkah Sharif into gold, and it would travel with me, and I can fulfill my need with that gold. So Allah Ta'ala gave Rasulullah this choice. मैंने अर्ज़ किया कि नहीं है मेरे परवरदिगार, मेरी तमन्ना तो ये है कि एक दिन पेट भरूं और एक दिन भूखा रहूं. Rasulullah sallallahu did not accept it. He said, Ya Allah, my wish is that one day I eat and one day I stay hungry. कि जब भूखा रहूं तो तुझको याद करूं और गिर गिराऊं, और जब शकम सैर हो जाऊं तो तेरी हमद व सना शुक्र करूं. That when I was hungry, I turn towards you, I repent towards you, and I cry in front of you, and I beg to you. And when my stomach is full, I be grateful to you, I praise you, meaning I don't want one-sided life, everything according to wish and desire. I wish one day is a day where food is I have food and I will thank you. One day I fast in hunger and I beg to you, I cry to you, so that I get the sawab of shukr, I get sawab of sabr also. So usually we wish we have plenty of money, we have plenty of wealth, everything according to our desire. That is not a good condition for a human being. If you look at the history, those people who were given everything in abundance, they usually went astray and they were misled. Firaun, Qarun, Allah gave them abundance of wealth, but it became means of their destruction. अबू नईम ने हिलिया में हज़रत जुबैर बिन नुफैर से मुरसलन रिवायत की है कि फरमाया रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने कि मेरी तरफ ये वही नहीं की गई कि माल जमा करूं और सौदागर बनूं. Rasulullah sallallahu said, Allah has not commanded me that I acquire, accumulate wealth and I become a big businessman. Allah has not sent wahi concerning this. Allah has not commanded me to become a big businessman and accumulate wealth. बल्कि ये वही की गई है कि अपने रब की हमद के साथ तस्बीह करूं और सजदा करने वाला बनूं. But it is revealed to me, I am commanded, I praise Allah Ta'ala and I glorify Allah Ta'ala and I make sajda to Allah Ta'ala, meaning make myself abid. That Allah Ta'ala has commanded me to become a businessman, wealthy person, but Allah Ta'ala has commanded me to glorify Allah Ta'ala and perform salat to Allah Ta'ala and make ibadat of Allah Ta'ala. और अपने रब की इबादत करूँ यहाँ तक कि यकीन हासिल हो जाए. And I worship Allah Ta'ala, I make ibadat of Allah Ta'ala until the surety comes, meaning death, meaning up till death time. From the time we become mature and baligh, our purpose is ibadat of Allah Ta'ala, earning a living, eating, etc. They are not purpose of life, they are necessities of life. और सहीहैन में उमर बिन खत्ताब रज़ी अल्लाह अन्हु से रिवायत है कि मैं रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की खिदमत में हाजिर हुआ तो देखा कि आप खुलदले बोरिए पर आराम फरमा रहे हैं. हज़रत उमर रज़ी अल्लाह says, once I came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and I saw that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was resting on a bare mat जिसके निशान करवट पर पड़ गए थे. And because it was just a chatai mat, and Rasulullah's body was also, there was nothing on his body, so the signs of the twigs, the branches, they came on the body of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. मैंने अर्ज़ किया कि या रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम इजाज़त हो तो कुछ देर बैठूं. I ask permission, if you permit me, I will sit by you for some time. आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम फरमाया कि बेहतर है. बस मैं बैठ गया. Rasulullah gave me permission to sit by him, so I sat down. I started to look in the room, what was in the room. और सर उठाकर मकान में जो नज़र डाली तो 3 कच्चे चमड़ों के अलावा कुछ नज़र न आया. So I sat down and started looking into the room. I couldn't find anything in the room except 3 raw skins, which was needed to be cleaned. So that was all. There was no grain, no rice, no nothing in the house, no sofa, no bed, anything. The bare house, bare room, empty, and only 3 raw skins. मैंने अर्ज़ किया कि अल्लाह ताला से दुआ कर दीजिए कि आपकी उम्मत को अल्लाह बरकत बख्शे. So I said in indirect way, Ya Rasulullah, make dua to Allah Ta'ala, He gives barakat to your ummah, meaning your ummah has more wealth and they can make your khidmat, better food, better clothes, better house, everything. So the Umar said in indirect way, you make dua for your ummah that Allah gives abundance of wealth so that they give you in a gift, your necessities will be fulfilled in an easy way and your life will be more comfortable. क्योंकि फारिस और रूम को बरकत दे रखी है. And he said that Allah has given abundance of wealth to the people of Faris and people of Rum, the Romans and the Persians, and even they don't even make ibadat of Allah Ta'ala. हालांकि वो अल्लाह की इबादत भी नहीं करते. They don't worship Allah Ta'ala and they associate partners with Allah Ta'ala, and even then Allah has blessed them so much wealth and then such a great comfort and luxury. And look at the state of yourself and your ummah. So you make dua, Allah Ta'ala gives us abundance of wealth, we can make your khidmat. तो ये सुनकर आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम बैठ गए. Rasulullah was lying down and he heard this from Umar radiallahu anhu. He sat up और फरमाया, क्या शक में पड़े हुए हो तुम इब्न खत्ताब? Rasulullah said in a stern voice that are in a doubt, O Ibn Khattab, that they are better off. उन लोगों की लज्जात तो दुनियावी ज़िंदगी में देकर ख़त्म कर दी गई. Rasulullah further on said, they have been given their comforts and luxuries in this world and it has been finished. And they have no share in the hereafter. And our share is left in the kept for the hereafter. मैंने अर्ज़ किया कि मेरे लिए इस्तिग़फ़ार कीजिए. Allah say, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam realized his mistake that he turned towards the world, he took the world to be something big. He said, Rasulullah to make dua for that. And Rasulullah sallallahu warned him, jerked him. He realized that world is nothing to act, nothing to go after, nothing to become happy about. So those people are enemies of Allah Ta'ala. Allah gives them the world in abundance. Those are near to Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala saves them from the world to save from his fitna and save from his harms. और जनाब रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को अपनी उम्मत के मुतालिक इसी का खौफ हुआ है कि दुनिया उन पर वसी हो जाएगी. Rasulullah feared this regarding his ummah, that the time will come that his ummah will have abundance of wealth and it will create fitna in the ummah. और उनको अपना गिरविदा बनाकर हलाक कर देगी. And people will indulge in the world and it will destroy them, destroy the ummah. We can see that more wealth person has, more is away from deen and more indulging in the world. So this is something Rasulullah feared, and he did not like his ummah having abundance of wealth. It's like a youth, young person, somehow he got a lot of money, so within 1 or 2 days he will finish up all the money, he will buy an expensive mobile, he will buy expensive clothes, he will go to restaurants, and he will book a holiday. So it's a very clear example. The youth of today, he's been given £5,000. Within 1 week, the £5,000 will be spent, and they'll be spent in a wrong way. चुनांचे सहीहैन में हज़रत अमर बिन औफ रज़ी अल्लाह से मरवी है कि फरमाया रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने, अल्लाह की कसम फ़क़र का मुझको तुम पर खौफ नहीं है. Rasulullah sallallahu took oath as by the qasam of Allah Ta'ala, I don't fear poverty over you, meaning the poverty will come upon you, and because of poverty you will move away from deen, you will slip away from deen. I don't fear that, meaning your iman is so strong that even in state of poverty you will not move away from deen, you will stay steadfast on deen. अलबत्ता इसका खौफ है कि दुनिया तुम पर वसी हो जाएगी जैसा कि तुमसे अगलों पर वसी हुई. But what I fear that you will be given abundance of wealth as it was given to the people before you. बस तुम उसके गिरविदा हो जाओगे, and you will start to try to increase each other in wealth, and you will have love and passion for the world जैसे कि पहले लोगों ने किया. Just the people of before, they were given wealth and they become engrossed in the wealth. और वो तुमको हलाक कर देगी जैसा कि उनको हलाक कर दिया. And just as it destroyed the people of before, Quran Sharif, you can look, the nations of before, people of Nuh alayhi salam, the people of Hud alayhi salam, people of Salih alayhi salam, they were very wealthy people. Quran Sharif, the state is mentioned, أَتَبْنُونَ بِكُلِّ رِيعٍ أَتُتْرَكُونَ فِي مَا هَاهُنَا زُرُوءٍ مَقَامٍ كَرِيمٍ. So they had abundance of wealth, but the very same wealth destroyed them. It made them neglectful from Allah Ta'ala, it made them neglectful from the hereafter, and the very same wealth became the means of their destruction. So this is what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam feared concerning his ummah. किसाई ने बयान किया है कि आद का बेटा शद्दाद अंबिया पर नाजिल शुदा किताबों के पढ़ने का शौकीन था. So here's a story concerning how wealth destroys a person. He may be a pious person, he may be a knowledgeable person, but when the love of the world comes into the heart and the love of the wealth comes into the heart, it makes everything ineffective. The knowledge does not help, and his piousness also goes away. So this is a warning for us, our students. The moment we are away from the world, from the lot of wealth, but even then small amount of money we have, it can become distraction and it can ruin the person, it can take him on the wrong way. So Aad ka beta, who is mentioned, the Prophet sent was Hazrat Hud alayhi salam, कि आद का बेटा शद्दाद अम्बिया पर नाजिल शुदा किताबों के पढ़ने का शौकीन था. His son, his name was Shaddad, and he was eager to read the kitabs which are revealed to the prophets of before. बस जब औसाफ जन्नत पर उसकी नज़र पड़ती तो उसका नफ्स खुश होता था. So when he would read, he got it like in Quran Sharif, Allah Ta'ala mentioned places Jannat, how the place Jannat will be, the gardens of Jannat, the streams of Jannat, the trees of Jannat. So they are mentioned in kitabs of before also. So when he would read concerning Jannat, how Jannat will be, he would become happy. But Shaytaan tricked him. Rather making effort to acquire the Jannat of the hereafter, he tried to make Jannat in this world. आखिर उसके दिल में आया कि ऐसी ही जन्नत दुनिया में अपने लिए तैयार करूं. So Shaytaan tricked him and he put him on the path that I will make a Jannat like it is mentioned in kitabs of before in this world. Firstly, it is not possible to make Jannat in this world. It's like a jail. Somebody tries to make jail into Jannat. Is that possible? So in the same way, this world is like a jail. No matter how much effort a person makes, he cannot make it into Jannat. But Shaytaan tricked him. Rather than using his effort for the Jannat of the hereafter, he turned his mind towards the Jannat of the world and ruined him. But usually we forget. Person reaches the age of 50, 60, now is thinking of building a house. It does not occur how long you're going to live now. You reach 50, 60, 10 years, 20 years. So in that time your house will be built, your time to go from the world will come. So this is how people usually we are tricked by Shaytaan. So instead of utilizing that time and ability to prepare for the hereafter and prepare for the Jannat of the hereafter, Shaytaan diverts us towards the worldly luxuries and it makes us waste our time, our wealth, and leaves us deprived in the end. So, उसके दिल में आया कि ऐसी जन्नत दुनिया में अपने लिए तैयार करूं. So Shaytaan put in his heart that what you learned from the kitabs of before regarding the Jannat, you make a Jannat in this world. बस उसने अपने एक वज़ीर को कि उसके 1000 वज़ीर थे हुक्म दिया कि दानिशमंदों और इंजीनियरों को जमा करे. He had 1,000 ministers. Out of the 1,000 ministers, he called one minister and commanded him to call the engineers and the planners in his kingdom. और इंजीनियरों को हुक्म दिया कि कोई ज़मीन वसी उम्दा हवा वाली जिसमें नहरें और दरख्त बकसरत हो तलाश करें. So he commanded his engineers to search for a plot of land, a place which is very, very big and the atmosphere is good, the air there is good, to find such a land first. ताकि एक बड़ी जन्नत उसके लिए बनाई जाए. So he can make a jannat in that plot of land. बस वज़ीर ने माहिरीन फ़न को साथ लेकर ज़मीन का गश्त लगाया. So the minister, the chief minister, he took the engineers and the people who knew about the land, he took them with him and started to search around in the world which is such a suitable place. जब वो लोग अतराफ़ यमन में अदन पर पहुँचे तो उसको बहमा सिफत पाया. So they started to search. They reached one place in Yemen which is called Adan. They found such a place, such a land there according to the wish of the king. और शद्दाद को उसकी खबर दी and they informed Shaddad the king that we have found a plot of land which is according to your wish and desire. शद्दाद ने मेमारों और इंजीनियरों को वहाँ भेज दिया. So the king's name, he was king, so he sent the engineers and the builders to that place and commanded them to build such and such a jannat. और सब ने उस ज़मीन में जमा होकर हर 4 तरफ से 10 फरसक से लेकर 40 फरसक का मुरब्बा दौर कायम किया. So they went there and they fixed the limits of the land that we have to make the Jannat within this plot of land. और जब शहर की बुनियादें खोद कर उसमें कटे हुए संगे मरमर से तामीर की, हर जानिब से निस्फ की मिकदार उसको ज़ाहिर कर दिया. They started to lay the foundation and they dug the foundation for the foundation, the land, and they started to make the foundation of marble stone, which is very strong and very valuable. So the foundation was laid and they started to build the walls, and the walls came from above the land. और शद्दाद उसकी, and they informed the king Shaddad that we have made the foundation of the Jannat, if you like to come. तो शद्दाद ने अपने वजीरों से कहा, देखो क्या तुमको मालूम नहीं है कि मैं सारी ज़मीन का बादशाह हूँ. So he collected his ministers and he said to them, do you not know I'm the king of the land? There have been 4 people who are said to be own the whole world, 2 Muslims and 2 non-Muslims. Muslims are Sulaiman alayhi salam and Zulkarnain. They were the kings over the whole of the world, and 2 non-Muslims, Kafir, one is Shaddad and the other one Namrud. So these 4 people are said to have kingdom over the whole of the land, whole of the earth. So he's one of them, Shaddad. So he said to his minister, he collected his ministers and said to him, देखो क्या तुमको मालूम नहीं है कि मैं सारी ज़मीन का बादशाह हूँ? Do you not know I'm the king of the whole of the land of his time? He was king of the whole of the land. सबने कहा इसमें क्या कलाम है? Everyone replied, what doubt is there in that? Because he was the outright king of the whole land. शद्दाद ने कहा, मैं चाहता हूँ कि सारी ज़मीन में जितना भी सोना और चांदी और जवाहिरात और याकूत और मोतियों की कानें हैं और मुश्क और ज़ाफ़रान और काफूर वगैरह जुमला नफीस अनवा सभी जमा कर लो. So he commanded his ministers that all the land belongs to me. So all the mines, gold mines, silver mines, and all wealth under the land, collect it, get it, dig it out and collect it. चुनाचे उन्होंने जो कुछ सारे मुल्क में था और जो कुछ खुद उनके या दूसरे लोगों के पास था जमा कर लिया. So they dug all the mines and they dug all the gold, silver, all the diamonds, even from the people. What people had there in their own personal property, he took them from them also. Gold people had, silver people had, diamonds people had. He by force took it from them also because he wanted to build the Jannat. और तमाम अतराफ में आदमी भेज दिए. And he sent people into his cities to collect whatever wealth people had. और जो कुछ कहीं दस्तयाब हुआ सब ही फराहम कर लिया. And whatever was available, he collected all to build the Jannat. जब आदमियों का लेन देन चमड़े पर होने लगा. In the olden days, the coins were gold and silver, but he collected all the gold and silver. People had no gold and silver, so as a medium of exchange, as a currency, they made coins of gold, of leather that people used to trade through. Like nowadays, our currency is paper, so we trade through paper money. So in the original currency is gold and silver. But when he collected all the gold and silver, no gold and silver left to trade. People took leather pieces and they used them as a money and currency. कि उनको दिरहम की शक्ल पर कता करके शाही नाम पर उसका महर लगा दी. Just like today, it's just a paper, but then write the king's name, government's name, and use as currency. So people started to use the parties of leather with the name of the king upon it, stamp of the king upon it, they started to trade through that. जब सब कुछ जमा कर लिया तो अब चांदी और सोने की ईंटें बनाकर उस संगे मरमर के ऊपर चल रहा है, चटाई की यहाँ. So when all the gold and silver was collected, so he made the walls of gold and silver. चांदी शरीफ में आता है ना कि जन्नत के अंदर एक मकान होगा सोने का एक चांदी का. So he made the walls of silver and gold, the bricks made of gold and silver, and the foundation was of marble. यहाँ तक कि उसकी अतराफ को पूरा कर दिया. So he made the 4 walls of this Jannat of gold and silver bricks and the stones of marble. जब शहर की उस फसील का इहाता हो गया तब उसके दरमियान फसील ही की सिफत पर मकानात और कमरे और मोती चांदी के बनाने शुरू किए. So first he made the fence of the Jannat. Once the fence was made, the walls were made, and he started to build the houses in that area, in that cordon, and they were also made of gold and silver and marble stone. और उनके पाए सब ज़बरजुद और याकूत सूर के कायम करे हैं. The foundation they were of diamonds and jewels and very precious stones. उन महल्लात और बाला खानों को जवाहिरात और मोतिया और याकूत के दरख्तों का नज़ारा करने वाला बनाया. So he made the whole houses in the Jannat of diamond, jewel, pearls, and the trees they were made of also diamonds. जिनके नीचे उछलने वाले फव्वारे और नहरें थी. And beneath this garden there were streams and water springing through. और मकानात के चारों तरफ मुश्क और अंबर और काफूर की पहाड़ियाँ बनाई. And around the homes he made hillocks of musk, amber, very precious fragrances. और इस सब तामीर को अजीब कारीगरी और मजबूत सन्नाई से ऐसा मुरतब किया कि दुनिया में उसकी नज़ीर बल्कि बाज़ हिस्सा का भी मिसल न था. And he made such a beautiful place that there was no other place in the world which would come anywhere near it. किसाई कहते हैं कि ये शहवतें 100 बरस में तामीर हुई. That it took 100 years to build that Jannat on the land. जब तैयार और मुकम्मल हो गई तो बादशाह को खबर दी गई. And the Jannat was ready and prepared, everything ready. The king was given, he was informed that your Jannat is ready and prepared, come and take a look at it. और उसने वज़रा उमरा को हुक्म दिया कि बेनज़ीर आला दर्जे के फुरूस और आला दर्जे के ज़ुरूफ उसमें मुंतकिल करें. So when it was ready and prepared, he commanded his ministers to spread the most precious and valuable carpets, rugs in this Jannat. चुनांचे 20 साल की मुद्दत में उसकी तकमील हुई. It took 20 years to prepare the rugs and carpets and all the preparation which to spread on the land and the rooms of that Jannat. आला दर्जे की ज़ुरूफ उसमें मुंतकिल करे, all the vessels, everything. चुनांचे 20 साल की मुद्दत में उसकी तकमील हुई. जब हर तरह आरास्ता हो गया तब शद्दाद सवार हुआ. And everything was ready and prepared, he came out to come and see his Jannat. और बेगमात को और ख़दम और हशम को और वज़रा और उमरा और दरबारियों को की बीवियों को इंजीनियरी के कायदे के बनाए सुनहरे होदजों में सवाल कराया. All the royal people they were invited, and for them special arrangements were made to bring them from their homes into these Jannahs. जब ये जुलूस शहर के दरवाजे पर पहुंचा और अव्वल बादशाह ने अंदर दाखिल होने का इरादा किया. So they reached the gates of the Jannah, and the king, he was on his horse. He intended to enter into the palace, into the Jannah. तो दफ़अतन अल्लाह ताला ने फरिश्ते को शद्दाद की जानिब भेजा. I just about to enter into this Jannah, and at that time Allah sent one angel towards Shaddad. अव्वल बादशाह ने अंदर दाखिल होने का इरादा किया तो अचानक अल्लाह ताला ने एक फरिश्ते को शद्दाद की जानिब भेजा और उसने कहा कि शद्दाद, अगर तू हक़ ताला की वहदानियत का इकरार करे तो मैं तुझको अंदर जाने दूंगा. So the angel said to him, O Shaddad, if you believe in the oneness of Allah Ta'ala, you believe in Allah Ta'ala, I will allow you to enter into your Jannah. और अगर अल्लाह की वहदानियत का इकरार न करेगा तो इसी वक्त तेरी रूह कब्ज़ कर लूँगा. And if you are not prepared to accept the oneness of Allah Ta'ala, if you are not prepared to believe in Allah Ta'ala, before you enter into your Jannah, I will take your ruh out and you will die. जब शद्दाद ने ये कलाम सुना तो शरारत और कुफ्र के साथ बकवास करने लगा. When he heard this from the angel, he was in a state of pride and he was in a state of arrogance. So he started to argue. फरिश्ते ने एक चीख मारी कि अव्वल से लेकर आखिर तक सब के सब मर गए. So the angel, he made one sound. It was so howling and so frightening that all the people died there and then. और उनमें से एक शख्स भी उस शहर के अंदर दाखिल न हो सका. Not a single person managed to enter into that Jannat which Shaddad had made. So it's a lesson for us. He spent all his wealth and everything behind that Jannat, and eventually he could not even enter into it, he could not even see it, and he had to leave the world. This is usually what happens, that we get engrossed in the world, our ambition is not fulfilled, the time of death comes and we have to depart. So it's a warning to us that we should not be deceived, we should not be tricked by the world, we should not engage in the world in such a way that we are deprived from the hereafter and we have to regret in our end. The world, we live here to prepare for the hereafter. We don't live in the world to prepare for the world, and don't make the world the purpose of our life. Allah Ta'ala give us understanding, save us from the trickery of the world and the deceivings of the world, keep us on the deen, and give us tawfiq to prepare for the hereafter.
Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallah wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.